A lot of us really need to hear this. Truth be told, we all get caught up in the same exact thing. I will admit, 100%, I am one of those people that do get caught up in it. You don't have to hit left. So my entire life I've played to a power fade, or my common miss is a slice. On occasions I do snap hook the hell out of the ball, but you know, who doesn't do that? Realistically, what I'm trying to get at is you don't have to hit a draw every single time. The reason that you're always told is it's easier to teach somebody to try to bring that draw into a fade than it is to go and teach somebody who has a fade to slice to draw it. Most of us, when we start out, we generally have a slice as our miss. When I used to start out playing golf, I'd set up that side of the fairway as my aim point and watch it just curve back into the right side of the fairway, which would always suck because every so often, I know some of you watching this do the same exact thing, you get that one good strike and it goes dead straight left. And it's always fun to go and try to find it out of bounds or in the junk or in the next fairway over, whatever. My point of this is there's a lot of pros and a lot of legends that have actually transitioned their draw into a fade, or they purposely kept to their natural play, which was a fade. The benefits of a fade is you're gonna have more spin. The reason that you wanna draw it is because it's more of a punchy, penetrating flight. It has less spin. It can be higher, but it's gonna get more distance because of the lack of spin and the height that you're getting off of it. You can generate a little bit more club head speed because you are essentially whipping that face through the impact, but we're all talking about something of perfecting the game, right? This isn't about perfecting it. This is about consistency. If you consistently play to a fade, play to your fade. Don't force yourself to try to go and completely restructure your swing in a couple of weeks to try to get to a draw, or do like what I commonly do, where I sit here at my mat and just swing day in and day out, trying to figure out how am I gonna get this to be a bit more penetrating? How am I gonna get this to be a draw? How am I gonna get this to be a little bit higher and stuff? Realistically, I should just be doing what I used to do and what actually made my game better. Don't punish yourself with the thought of, man, going right if you're right-handed, left if you're left-handed is wrong. You need to remind yourself that a fade is a good shot. Now let's start out with, you got Grant Horvitz, Phil Mickelson, John Daly, and Daly Jr. that went out and did their YouTube little playoff thing and stuff like that. How many times did you hear, not just Phil, but Daly, both saying that they want to cut it, they want to fade it, they want to constantly keep that ball going right? Because you could generate so much more spin with a fade. That little bit of a counterclockwise spin to it, and the way that you're able to come into that ball generates way more spin than you can anticipate to it. You start to hone in that ability of having a consistent ball strike, you're going to get that ball way more controllable, especially with a hit and stop impact. That's part of the reason why I could get my long irons and stuff to be able to hit and stop, is because my power fades, especially with long irons, are generating enough backspin for it to be able to hit, check right, and stop. That is a ability that could save you so much, especially on longer holes, if you are a longer hitter. If you're playing fairway woods and stuff because you're a bit shorter on the length, I don't really know what to tell you. But again, the fade can actually help you with getting more spin for that ball to actually stop. So long story short with this whole entire thing, look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods started out for a good long while playing a draw, and then he transferred his swing into a power fade on everything. You're able to get a ton of control off of it. We're not going to talk about his ability to control and manipulate the ball. That is just an astronomical thing. Ben Hogan, after his accident, Lion Golf Academy actually has an entire excellent explanation of Ben Hogan's swing on how he was trying to completely eliminate the left side of the field, which is why I think it's funny that everybody preaches Ben Hogan's 5 tips for golf and yada, yada, yada. You need to play a draw. It's like you're teaching a swing that is literally designed to eliminate the left side. You're teaching a swing that is meant to force him to play a fade because he doesn't want to draw it because of his injuries, or because of his, past tense. Just, sorry, it sounded weird in my head and now it's coming out. But regardless. So Lee Trevino, always played to power or fade. Fantastic, for his height and his ability to be able to just knock the ball out of there, just ridiculous distances. You got John Ram, you got Morikawa, you got a couple other different pros that are currently playing right now. Even Rory plays to a power fade, even though his natural miss is a draw, because you gain control out of it. You gain a significant amount of, you have confidence when it lands and stops. If you are gonna hit and it's gonna bounce and run out, you're not really gonna get the confidence out of that, because one shot you could have, it's gonna have more than enough spin to be able to hit and stop, maybe hit and have a little bit of release. All the other ones, you're just sitting there wondering, am I gonna hit and it's just gonna shoot out across at the back of the green? It's kind of a catch-22 when you really think about it. The other part of that too is when you're playing a significant draw and you have a slower swing speed, you're losing spin. So when you're losing out the spin, you get a lot of these people that go and preach, okay, I'm gonna play the Pro V1. I need the ball to have spin and everything else. Again, Pro V1 is not the ball of choice for that aspect. There's other balls out there that generate almost 1,000 RPMs more on same iron shots or wedge shots that are for the same price. Pro V1s are one of the lowest spinning balls that are on the market. You could eliminate the need for playing urethane covered balls on full shots. You aren't going to get the spin out of your chip shots and everything else. Let's just face that. Yeah, having a fade chip is going to give you a bit more spin out of it, get it check up and everything, but that's an entire different topic for a different story. What I'm trying to get at with all this realistically is, don't punish yourself and listen to this whole stigma of right is bad, fade is bad. Yes, slicing is bad, slicing sucks. So is snap hooking it, so is drop kicking it. Just, if you play to a fade, play to a fade. Even I have some injuries that causes me to come over the top a little bit. And it's one of those things that most of us actually fight, because realistically, when you have a natural fade, you're for the most part at some point coming over the top, and that's gonna be cutting across the ball slightly. Or you can have a very flat in out swing. You're just leaving that face open, and that's causing that side spin. There's different ways to correct it, but once you figure out how you can correct it, don't lose that shot. That is an ability that you have, and you know that's ingrained in you, and how you can replicate that shot later. That's another tool inside your bags for you to utilize in a different situation as needed. When I started learning how to purposely draw the ball or hook the ball, I took all of my horrible shots and put that back in the bag, because if I end up with a tree on my right and I need to slice it around on a purpose, I know how to slice it. That's because I come across the top of my swing. I literally will come up and tip over like that. That is just a natural oops because of an injury in my back. So, long story short with it, what you really need to just look at is, look at it with awe and amusement, as well as intrigue, because if you look at it in a positive manner, you're gonna get good information out of it. You're not gonna go and look at it as a negative thing that's gonna be punishing. You're gonna look at it as a ooh and ah, which is gonna want you to be able to learn more about it. And you're not gonna get as frustrated, which when you start getting frustrated, you're gonna start doing dumb, stupid things. Just start swinging out of control and crazy and stuff. Take a step back, breathe, and just question yourself, how did I do that? I wanna do that again. So if you actually agree or disagree with this, fight me about it in the comments, because I thoroughly believe that this whole thing of telling everybody you have to hit a draw is wrong. Yes, a draw is longer, but there's many people that have played throughout history. Jack Nicklaus is a good example of that one. One of the greatest legendary golfers that we've ever had played to a fade, a natural fade at that. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Follow me if you want to see some more. Keep in the fairway. Have a good one.